This is that amazing worksheet that I gave you about simplifying exponents. And remember, none of your answers, your final answer, should have a negative exponent in it. Okay, so let's just do a few of these together. Make sure everybody's doing okay. Remember, anything to the 0 power, this is 1. So right here, that's 1, so you can totally ignore that. I noticed that both of these have negative exponents. So since right now they're in the numerator, you know, if you would think about this as a fraction, then I would rewrite this as in the denominator. So my actual answer is going to be 1 over b to the second c to the first. Okay, so if they have negative exponents, remember you can move them. Okay, so I'm looking real quick right here. See how that has a negative exponent? It's in the bottom, move it to the top. Okay, so that's my little key here. Same thing here, negative exponent, move him to the top. This one already has a positive exponent, so you would leave him alone. All right, so your final answer here, if I take him and I move him to the top, I know this would be m to the 4th. Remember, when you multiply, you add exponents, so your final answer is just m to the 6th. All right. So let's look here. A lot of people, when they do this one, it's a negative 11 and they want to move it to the top because it's a negative. Well, don't pull any scary stuff like that. It's not a negative exponent. It's a negative number. So you're going to treat it the same way. So first of all, you've got a positive divided by a negative, which is negative. So no matter what, I know my answer is negative. And I really should put that out front, but I almost wrote it too close. And 22 over 11 is 2. So this cancels. 11 goes into 22 twice. So do your numbers like you always did. Okay, here I have a to the second over a. Remember, when you divide, you subtract exponents. And if you don't see an exponent, it's a 1. Okay, so I've got 2 up here, 1 down there. So I'm going to end up with only 1 on the top because there's more on the top. How many more? 1. Okay, I have b to the 5th over b to the 1st, and think about it, 5 minus 1 is 4, so I have a b to the 4th, and here 7 minus 2 is 5, so I have a c to the 5th. So here's my actual answer. There's nothing even in the denominator anymore, okay? All right, let's look at this one. This one looks kind of messy. Honestly, since you have an exponent that's applied to everything in here, I would just go ahead and before you start moving or doing anything, let's just go ahead and distribute that. So remember, when you have an exponent raised to an exponent, like right here, you multiply. So this would be r to the negative 8th. And if you wanted to, as soon as you heard yourself say that, you could have gone ahead and moved him down here. This would be k to the 4th. Now you could go ahead and just write this. Remember, this exponent is 1, so this would be 5 to the 2nd. But I actually know 5 to the 2nd is 25, so I'm just going to go ahead and kind of do 2 steps at 1. And this is k to the 4th, because 2 times 2 is 4. These are going to cancel. He's positive, so you're not going to move the 25. Okay, it has a positive 1 exponent. This has a negative exponent, so I'm going to move him to the bottom. Notice I really have nothing left on the top, so you do have a 1, and I would write this as 25 r to the 8th. Okay, so that's the final answer on that one. Okay, only other thing here is, let me do one more here. Again, I would apply this to everything in here. This exponent's a 1, so you could either write 3 to the 2nd, or I know 3 to the 2nd is 9, so I'm just going to go ahead and write 9. This would give me x squared squared, multiply these, so that would give me x to the 4th. Now don't make this hard. This is 1/3 squared. Think about it. What's 1/3 times 1/3? Well, 1 times 1 is 1, 3 times 3 is 9, so that's 1/9. So I'm going to go ahead and write that as 1/9. And this would be y to the 4th. Well, look, you can multiply in any order. What is 9 times 1/9? Well, that's 9/9, which is 1, so these cancel out. I feel that's blurry, and my eyes are just getting old. So all I'm left with is an x to the 4th, y to the 4th, okay? And I'm looking here to see if there's anything else. Be careful when you do this. My C's and D's do not simplify at all. The only thing that simplifies are my B's, because I have some on the top and some on the bottom. And think about it, where do you have more B's? You could take 6 minus 14, which by the way is what, negative 8? But I don't want to write b to the negative 8th. I'd want to write the b to the 8th down here. Okay, because think about it, where are there more? On the bottom. How many more? 8. And your c to the 5th would still stay up here, and then your d to the 2nd. You're not going to move these because they're positive exponents. Okay, so give it a try.